I love having fucking issues! Ah! Greetings. This is so good. Thank you. Let me make a post. Great. Okay. Let me make a post about the stream being online. Can you hear me? Oh, am I peaking? Oh. Am I peaking? I'm sorry. Am I peaking? Do I have to speak like this from now on? Sorry to whoever, had, like, my voice on peak. I'm so sorry. I'm a voice actor, guys. It's part of the job for me to scream. I have to go, really lightly. I have to be like, Okay. Let's see. Technology difficulties solved. And then now I just have to link my Twitch stream. Yes, that's how it works, right? I know how to do Twitch. Yes. You guys want to know the worst thing? I spent like a couple of days to make sure I know what I'm doing. And I was like, yeah, no, I know what I'm doing. This is great. And then as you can see, no, I don't. This is so nice. Stream starting. I think most of everybody just saw this on Insta, so I'm gonna post it and then I'm gonna... I mean, yeah, isn't that like what art students do? I'm a grade A art student that graduated and paid off his student loans. So, I am superior in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Oh, I didn't screenshot it. I'm so dumb. This is great, guys. Hello. Thank you for joining. Oh, there's 33 of you. Oh, no. To be fair, I did say there wasn't going to have any nice professional lingo. Oh my god, am I peak? Do I peak like this? Okay, listen, if you guys can't hear me... Okay. I'll put it like this, and because I don't want to, like... Oh my god, I don't want to accidentally peek and kill you guys. Oh wait, I can do this. Wait, I'm dumb. I can do this. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I didn't peek. And also, I will be sneezing. And I apologize. Oh gosh. Alright. And that posted. Oh. You see, I live in the future. So, that's all I can tell you. Let me do a little bit of a spray. And then I'll be good to go. Alright. Let's see. Slideshow time. Wait. Good kid, Mad City, you're a little too loud for me. And I can't hear me talking. And that's why you're here. You're here to listen to me yap. That's the most important thing in the world. Me yapping. Okay, welcome. Hi. Oh, allergies. This is a great start, guys. Welcome to... How many people are here right now? I can't tell. I don't have Twitch next to me because I have two screens. But, yeah, welcome. And thank you guys for being here. I spent, like, a week doing these slides, going back and forth. So welcome to Mushroom Grenades, What Not to Do in Portfolios. This is going to cover zines, open calls, voice acting. I'm going to touch a bit on social media and resume stuff. So if that's something that you are interested in, I hope you stay. Everything here is, my personal opinion. It doesn't involve anything I do, personal projects, or any professional work. There will be a lot of swearing involved. I will be swearing a lot. I love swearing. Before we start, I do want to remind everyone that art is political. Every art is political. Everything you do, unfortunately, is political. So just want to make it clear that, fuck ICE, free Gaza, free Taiwan, free Tibet, free Hong Kong, free Ukraine, no Asian hate, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ rights, and this is a anti-censorship space, which is, oh hey, what's up? I will not be roasting your portfolio, but what's up? A lot of these things and tips might seem very fucking stupid and very fucking obvious for every one of you, but yet I still see like 60% of people do these violations every time I look through any kind of application, whether it's zines, open calls, auditions, all these. So yeah, I guess it's not common sense. So that sucks, and here we are. And this is mainly the reason why I'm doing this. It's because I'm very angry all the time. So some of the contents that I will be covering, like mentioned earlier, zine applications, open calls, casting calls, and social media. I will be explaining what each and every one of them mean if you are not familiar with it. Also, I talk really fast. I hope I don't bust through this shit in 30 minutes. That'd be awkward. I spent so much time doing this. Anyways, what's a zine? For zine applications specifically, are any of you right now here specifically here for zine stuff, or is this just in general? Regardless, a zine is usually this self-published, small circulation, non-commercial booklet that, people create. It can be fan zines, it can be, personal zines. Okay. Bet. I find a lot of zine stuff to be a little bit different from open call stuff because of the spaces they're in, I suppose. I see more zine open calls being directed to fine arts or current students XYZ compared to the zine community being more fandom spaced, which definitely I see a lot of zine people pull up for open apps and then use the fandom culture to apply for things, and then I would see stuff like LOL or IDK, LMA, blah blah blah, and you probably shouldn't do that for something more serious like an open call. But anyhow, they come in many formats, from mass production, polished magazines or polished books. I've personally published a couple of zines with a bunch of people. Some of them are hardcover, some of them are just what's the term? They're soft and squishy. And some of them, I have a couple friends who just do the DIY ones that you can do with one paper. Those are also zines. You probably see those at conventions all the time too, pieces of paper stapled together. This is directly from Google, by the way, this part. And the next part is me. Many zines include, the ones I do that are fan-made. I used to be very, very prevalent in the One Piece fan zine space. Let's see. Yeah, it's very less formal, but I think it's best for every application you do to be formal. To me at least, because being formal means that, your punctuation is correct and you are, at the very least, showing yourself that you are a professional. And if a project isn't professional, maybe you dodged a bullet. Because if a project isn't professional, how can you expect them to budget correctly? How can you expect them to, take anything seriously? I think, at the very least, even with fandom projects, there should be a line of professionalism, because a lot of the time, even if charity, these are money. These are people's hard-earned money that they are spending on your project. So I think there needs to be a formal, idea to it. So once again, if something isn't as formal, maybe you've dodged a bullet. I have come across, and I have been part of a couple of, very informal and not professional zine projects in my time. I say that as if I'm old. No, I'm 23, fellow kids. I am very hip, as the people say. But there are a lot of I've had to take over on a couple of fanzines because the people who are running it didn't know what they were doing, or like they drop or they ghost, other people. And it sucks because people spend, even if you are a contributor, people spend a lot of time doing these things. They spend months or, however long to create pieces, and for it to just be ghosted and for it to just disband really is, not cool. I think that's bad. There's usually made, the ones you are probably aware are usually made by fans and for fans, because any fan merch is legally in a gray area. It's quote unquote illegal, but people don't really strike them because it's considered free advertising, especially for like conventions. It's like very big free advertising. But the fandom culture is very different in Asia and the West. Western, American, European, that area take fandom stuff and conventions as sometimes like a way of making a living, where in Asia it's usually the opposite. Some of these some Asian countries, we get to do that too, but in Japan specifically, which most of like these comiket projects and spaces originate from, these are strictly, especially fan merch, are strictly for fun, and they are not meant to, make an income. Usually people just break even. And it's because of the respect they have for the original, and they're very aware of this being like in a very gray area. So it's important to, distinguish things, especially when you are, like, let's say you're making fanzines and then you're trying to sell it to Japan. Maybe you're not going to get the best feedback because of things like this. There's no strict length of how big or small, one can be. Once again, it could go from 200 pages, hardcover, to a single paper. Most of these tips can be applied across other fan projects like Big Bangs, GIF exchanges, anthologies, and open calls, in my opinion. Basically, anything that means you'll be working with others. If you want any experience in working with a team, I'd say this is like a good way to start compared to like getting a 9 to 5, or that's a bad analogy, or like working, if you don't have experience and you want to just get a couple to know like, oh, how it is working with like a smaller team that can usually range from like 20 to 60 people. It's basically just so you can understand how to like time manage, deadlines, check-ins, getting feedback, and then also seeing your stuff printed. For a lot of people, I think that's important. In college, I was an officer for the comic club, and we would always encourage students that are in, or who are part of the club, not part of the club, to submit for our semester anthology, because for a lot of kids these are the first time to see their work being printed, and that's an incredible feeling. But it's also a good practice on time management, check-ins, and all that stuff. Other examples are shipping character weeks, zines, fan books, merch projects, anthologies, conventions. For artist applications, please read the fucking rules. It seems like nobody likes to read nowadays, and that's a real problem, especially with people being illiterate nowadays. I know open calls and any application seems like the same thing over and over again, which most of the time it is, but sometimes it isn't, and it's really important to double check. This includes comics, merch, page artists, full spreads. Full spreads are just when you open a book, 2 pages together. In this that's like a full thing, a full spread. It's usually a big piece, but it's a big full spread. That's why we call it that. Or not safe for work. Anything, basically, any and all artist applications. I have unfortunately spent the past 5 years looking through and judging these applications. A lot of art applications make simple mistakes, but these mistakes make me go, okay, I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just not, because sometimes these mistakes are not having your Google Drive opened. I physically can't look at it. That's bad. That sucks. I can't do anything about it, guys. What not to do, here are some bullshit that I've encountered all the time. Give more pieces than we ask for. If we ask for 5 pieces, don't go over. It's really not my job to skimmer through everything of your portfolio. I have so much time in one day, and I don't want to spend more time looking and judging your application more than I have to. It's not my job, once again, and don't dump your whole fucking thing into the submit folder as samples. Don't! That's so annoying! Fuck! Google Drive that doesn't give access. We are not your babysitters. If a Google Drive doesn't have access, your application doesn't work. I'm not gonna come email you and be like, oh my gosh, hi honey. You know, like, I'm sure you made a little boo-boo. Your stuff doesn't work. We can't see you and we can't judge you. Check your fucking sharing permissions, please. It's not that hard. Oh gosh. Allergies. Pieces that don't fit the description we asked for. If we ask for, this is personally from me. I've had a couple of zine people that I've been working with for like the past 5-6 years. Look through this and give me some pointers to be like, hey, what are some things that you guys are super pissed off of? And they're like, so many things. And I'm like, I know, right? This is me though. This is me from day one until today. And continue on. Pieces that don't fit the description we ask for. Also, I'm gonna make myself a little smaller so you can see my stuff. Where is me? Is this it? Okay. Yes, I'm the your mom. That's how I name my files. Okay. Also, I love that when I don't talk, it just moves like I have too much sugar in me. Which, yeah, that works too. I don't really consume sugar that much, but it's funny. Anyways, pieces that don't fit the description we ask for. Oh, it's not silent. This is not silent out. That's why I'm talking about this. This is loud. This is very loud. This is me being hella pissed. If we ask for backgrounds and full body pieces and you give me fucking portraits, I can't say KYS on Twitch, which I think is really annoying. I can't say a lot of things on Twitch. I had to do research. I'd be like, oh, can I say this? They're like, oh, you're gonna get banned. Okay. Well, that sucks. That takes off like 30% of my whimsy out. Twitch is boring. Anyways, that just means you can't read. And rules are there for a reason. For example, normally for zine applications, we ask for portraits and we ask for full pieces because that's what is required for you to create for the zine. If you give me one single portrait of Monkey D. Luffy, that doesn't show me how good you are on drawing everything else. In fact, it just shows me you're good at one single thing. I can't hire you for one single thing. I need you to be able to do the whole piece. Okay? And if you can't read, I'm just going to assume you can't read anything else when we give anything to you, which is all the time. We're going to, we're going to put announcements, we're going to have reminders, we're going to have we're going to have like specs. We're going to be like, hey, this thing is 300 pixels, 300 dpi. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm not going to read and I'm just going to do what I want. Why would I hire you? If you can't read, I'm not going to hire you because these are things that I'm afraid that's going to happen. And has happened. I'm not taking my fucking chances. Fuck. No, thank you. Anyways, other notes, when you only have, 3 to 5 pieces to submit, please always check your strongest pieces. And it also depends on the project. This isn't just zines too. If, let's say this project is horror themed and you have 3 to 5 pieces to submit and, most of your work is cutesy stuff. And maybe you want to take the cutesy stuff off and take the 1 or 2 pieces you have of horror and put that in. That would be your strongest suit in this specific project. So, always check what you're applying for. Please pick your strongest pieces. A good sketch. Fuck! So many times I look through each application and then I see people put like a very strong, good sketch. I love a good sketch, don't get me wrong, but a sketch, I can't print that shit. I can't print that. It doesn't show me your line art. It doesn't show me your colors. It doesn't show me your shading. It doesn't show me your backgrounds. It might show me a little bit of your anatomy, but also not really, because it's a sketch and sketches look really pretty all the time. But when you line it, that's what I want to see. I don't care how good you are with your sketch. I do care how good you are with your sketches, but usually for other work, like storyboarding, for thumbnail. But please, if we ask for finished piece, which 99% of the time we ask for finished pieces only for zine applications, please do that. It's not that hard. Do you know how many sketches I see all the fucking time? The answer is a lot. It's horrendous. Oh, whoops. Okay, I need to lock me. Aha, there we go. Artist applications. What to do to make sure I actually go through your work. Wow. Yeah, if you just fuck up like first thing, I'm not looking at that shit. No. You obviously don't care and you don't respect us enough, then I'm not gonna respect you. I'm just gonna put it in a pile and move on. Give me the pieces I ask for. Don't give me merch samples for your page artist stuff. Don't give me comics if I'm asking for your page sample, like, page full pieces, because that's not what I fucking asked for. Okay? They don't sit right together. We love seeing physical merch if you have any merch, and if you're if you're applying as a merch artist, show us you've actually got experience in the manufacturing hell. It helps actually, but sometimes it backfires to me, because I've had a lot of like good merch, or just merch artists trying to take advantage of people who don't know any better. I see you, motherfucker. I see people who would make like really elaborate merch, or they would ask for things that they want to put on their store, because what usually happens is there would be extras even after sales. So for zines, we have pre-orders. If the pre-order goes well, we order like a little bit extra, and then we ship everything, and then we have after sales, which is selling the rest of everything else. And usually for merch artists, there are leftovers, and we would send those directly to the merch artists if they're willing to pay for shipping. And I've seen people use that, to their advantage, and try to order like super elaborate and super expensive merch. And they're like, oh, they would act like, oh no, I just didn't know. No, you're not slick, and I really don't want to work with you anymore, because this is super predatory and you're being mean. Oh my gosh, hi Kublo, hi. Hello Kublo. You should tell Ash to join, because I'm talking shit about stuff right now. Shit that he probably would want to listen in on. But seriously, don't do that. We know what you're doing. It's really bad. It's predatory, and I've seen people try to make like super elaborate enamel pins, and if you've ever made enamel pins, those molds are not cheap. And they were like, oh, I want what's best for the zine. No, you don't. That mold is gonna cost like $500, and you're not the one paying for it, so of course you don't care. You can probably just buy the mold from the manufacturer for cheap, because they already made it and they don't want it anymore. That's just really bad, guys. Just don't do that. Anyways, back to this. We love seeing physical merch to see you have actual experience. Good photos are important too. Clear, clean, good lighting, spacing is all very important. It's part of your composition, in fact. You need to package yourself to show people why they should choose you. This goes for everything. This goes for your demo reel. This goes for your comic pieces, which I will all touch on later. And this goes for your website. This is very important. You should always do this. There are times where I would see like photos, but then they're blurry, or they're in like a very dark background, or it shows me that you probably don't know how to take a good photo. Then I don't judge normally like that. I'm not that harsh, but at the same time, it's like, if I can't see, then I can't judge. You know, if I can't see this correctly, I cannot judge correctly. So it's better safe than sorry. Different portfolios for different positions. Make sure you format everything individually. This goes for everything. This isn't just zines. Each format has its own expertise. A full art piece doesn't really work for an enamel pin, for example. It can, but that shit's gonna be hella expensive. And that's not why you're here. Don't show me a keychain when I need a page art. A vector animation isn't fit for keychains either. You know, like, let's be specific, and this is for your own good too. It's good to be organized, and it's good to be able to show, you know, immediately show people who are looking through applications what they're looking for, so they don't have to spend extra time looking through things, or they probably won't even spend the extra time. They're just gonna skip it because this isn't what I'm looking for. Why'd you apply? I'd probably curse you out, be like, why the fuck did you, waste my time? I do that a lot. I get really upset all the time. Extra notes for Melee printed pieces. Have anyone here, I feel like a teacher, have anyone here printed their stuff before? If you have, this would make sense. If you haven't, please listen up. Make sure you drop it within the bleed. Sorry. The bleeds are what will be cut when we're printing physical stuff. Okay, so when you print things, the manufacturer or whoever is hosting this project should, if they don't, ask them, should tell you, like, okay, the bleed's gonna be maybe like 0.2 centimeters, and it's usually around the page, like the ones that are the most outside of the page. It's usually just what's printed, so it can, because if you're formatting a book, things might get cut, either for, the what's the word? I need to find it. One sec. What's the word for that thingamajig that I'm looking for? While I look for the word, y'all tell everyone that I'm live. Because I got like 6K likes and 300 comments, and I only see 30 of you. Almost 40, but still. What's the term for book parts? Aha, yes. Google Pictures. The spine! Yes, the spine. So when you're... Yeah, not really. I'm thinking for the spine. When you're making the book, that part gets cut because, they have to stuff that thing in. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Especially if these are, like, people from, like, IRL clubs, like, they don't have any experiences. In my experience from my comic club, none of these kids know what the fuck a bleed is. In fact, I don't think my my fellow peers and people who were running the club all knew what a bleed was, and I had to be like, guys, did we not tell people? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh my god, bro, because things are cut so badly. And also, like, for the covers too, I've seen recently, like, a hardcover book with the title, like, there's like 2 lines for the title. The bottom title got cut, and I was like, oh my god, you did a hardcover zine and you don't know about that? That hurts me. Oh, okay, that's good. It's good to have, yes, mostly zines have pre-made templates. If you don't, and if you don't hear from a zine that, like, I've worked with zines with the moderators not having any prior experiences, so they were saying yes to every merge. They were like, yeah, let's do 4 enamel pins, and I was like, what? I was one of the contributors, and they very clearly didn't know what a bleed was because one of the pieces was a big spread, and the face was right in the middle. So you know how, yeah. Don't do that, by the way, guys. If you're gonna make a spread, please don't put the face in the middle, or please don't put the most important thing in the middle. you get points deducted for like for portfolio work. I've had professors like bring books to showcase, children's book to be like, hey, they were about to win an award, but because of this bleed, because of this middle bleed and it being cut, they didn't get the award. It was because of this, and I was like, oh no, because it was a fantastic book, but because of that mistake. So please make sure, unless it is like planned well, to not have like it's important to have things in the middle, but try to composition it a little different if you're printing physical. Posters don't have this problem, but if you're printing physical and you have like a spine, please make sure either you talk with a manufacturer or you talk with the project head that somebody knows what they're doing, because a face can be cut right in the middle, and you know what happens then? You can't see anything because it's cut, and then unless you like kind of break the spine by pushing it down, you can barely see the face either. So that's bad. Don't do that, guys. Make sure you're very careful with the bleed, and don't have anything important in the bleed because it's gonna get cut. It will get cut. 99% of it is gonna get cut. Yeah, just make sure the faces and important things are not in the middle. Know the difference between CMYK and RGB. I am a proud lover of RGB. I love drawing in RGB. There was a time, I'm a little better now, where I used to draw strictly in like bright colors because I like to express myself. I'm an art student, and especially if you're a digital artist who has not printed before, this can definitely be challenging. I tried drawing in CMYK before. It was hell on earth. It was it was so bad. I wanted to die. It was awful. Ugh. But regardless of how bad it is, please, be careful, because something you draw that is super neon and super pretty on digital can look very dull and bland when you print it in CMYK, and you would want to cry. I agree. Be loathed. I was told my color scheme, IRL, when like people were looking at my skin and my color blah, they're like, oh yeah, you have a winter tone. And I looked through the tone and I was like, oh my god, this is just fucking CMYK. I am, my worst enemy is my color tone. Lovely. But yes, normally you draw in RGB. CMYKs are a lot duller in color. And if you do a lot of neons, and if your tone is, a lot higher, your pieces might print out a lot duller than you expect, and you might cry. And it is okay to cry, because I know it's so unrecognizable. It sucks. I hate it. Black and darker inks are also more complicated. Check the color profile the manual wants and submit PDFs or TIFFs. Please always be aware. I agree. Your digital screen is definitely RGB coded, so if you have like a library near you where you have a printer, or if your school has a printer that prints color, it's always, like cool to just do like a test printing and just check. That's like the cheapest way I can tell you how to check if you don't have Photoshop. You shouldn't, by the way. Adobe sucks. All my homies hate Adobe. What's the term? Steal? No. What's the term of not buying Adobe and just installing? Yes, thank you. I know it's really hard being trilingual. Excuse me. But yes, pirate Adobe. Adobe is awful. I hate Adobe. If you're in art school, use Adobe to the fullest because it sucks. But also, no other formats. As much as Adobe has been like a big standpoint in, any art and any big company, they're always like, oh, we only use Adobe. It's because Adobe made it so that everyone needs to rely on them, so they can charge these ridiculous prices. Yeah, just make sure you know how to use other profiles, other programs as well just in case, your Adobe subscription runs out and you haven't found a way to pirate it yet. Oh, it's Pirate Adobe. Adobe sucks. There's also a lot of alternatives with Adobe too. I would highly recommend. But anyways, yeah. Please know that it's going to be very sad when for the first time when you print CMYK, you're going to be like, my sauce, where has it gone? Where did all my sauce go? It has gone down the drain. I am so sorry to tell you that. It sucks. Life is painful. I am so sorry. So please always beware. Choose the right fonts. Fuck. A lot of you are probably not graphic designers. About the Photoshop. Canva just... Oh, I don't know about that. I don't use Canva. My mom uses Canva. I sneer at it because there is a very limited amount of font choices and they're usually not the best. And also I think Canva uses AI. I'm like, icky. Anyhow, I'm like, once again, I'm assuming a lot of you are not graphic designers or has ever touched graphic design in your life. Good for you, but also no bad. Graphic design is super important, unfortunately. It's boring, it sucks for me. I graduated as a communications design illustration student. That's bad font and tech stuff. Yes. I have seen a lot of portfolios who have great work and then Comic Sans in the middle. That makes your piece go from 100 to 20. It destroys your piece. It's awful. I do think it's important to, if you don't know graphic design, it's important to look for references. Go read some comics, read some manga, freecomics.com, and look at the fonts they use. And try those fonts, Find those fonts, try those fonts in your comic, and try to see if you have something you prefer, and if you don't. If you work in art, you for sure can tell a little bit. Yes, Anime Ace is. But sometimes Anime Ace doesn't work. It didn't work for my thesis, and I took like 2 weeks looking for the font that I wanted. And I'm glad I did. Because if I used Anime Ace, that whole thing would have went from yay to nay. Yeah. Your Comic Sans stuff makes you look really unprofessional. Once again, like I mentioned, you have to package yourself. There are font rules. I took notes in that class. I don't remember any of them. I think the rules were like number based. They're like, okay, when you're in like Illustrator and InDesign, do this and do that, and then make sure you don't do this and don't do that. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I could not listen to it. This is why I meant, like, a lot of people on the, what's it called? A couple of people on my original post said like, oh, I don't know if they were being mean or not, but a lot of people were interested in the class and they were like, oh, why can't you just go on YouTube and, there's a lot of resources. I'm very bad at like keeping up with YouTube stuff, for example. Mainly because like for Adobe, when I am going through a tutorial, they'll be like, okay, open this in this section. And I'm like, I don't have that section. And then I'd freak out for 20 minutes because our system is wired differently. And it's just, I can't. And I would, like, it's a 5-minute video and I'm like, I'm stuck in the... I'd die. I don't know what pet means, but yes, I die. I know, it's so stupid. I think it's really important to cater to what works best for you, especially when you're learning. It's okay to, fall behind, and it's okay to not know any better. It's really important to ask. Oh God, yeah. YouTube Shorts and TikTok fried everyone's brains. It sucks. I hate it. Oh, 1 sec, guys. I have to reply to my tech. No prob. I solved it. My Twitch was being icky. One sec, guys. I have work. For fonts, there is some technical stuff. Yes, basically, yeah. There are technical stuff for like lines and spacings. If you have, what's the term? If you have Adobe, they would be able to tell you like what lines and whatnot. If you don't, sucks to be you. One of the things that I unfortunately like about Adobe is that, it locks you sometimes where you're like, okay, this is where it should be and whatnot. But most of the time, I do fucking hate Adobe. Adobe sucks. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, choose a good font. Yes, yes, I used Google Slides, basically PowerPoint. It was very helpful. Yeah, choose the right fonts. I'll show you guys an example of what, like, good font and bad font looks later. But exporting in the wrong DPI is also very important. Please make sure you export and submit pieces, especially for zines, usually in 300 DPI or higher. If you do 72 DPI, it's going to look crunchy in a bad way. It's going to look like a fried meme, and you can't zoom in. If you submit in a 72 DPI and then they printed, you're going to hold your book, and you're going to see your page being super, super scrunchy. Oh, wow, there's so many words. Let me read this. Let me read what you said. Your text living above the economy. That doesn't really make sense to me, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means my brain isn't computing. I think I know what you mean, though. I think I kind of understand what you mean. But, yeah, no, for... everyone does things differently, it's fine. But anyways, here's an example. Which one do you prefer more? I'll give you 1 minute to comment. This is interactive, guys. Exactly, class. Yes, our participation points is important. Yes, this is like this is like a class, guys. You participation points. This is what I used to yap a lot in class so I can get my participation points. I was getting an A because I talk a lot. Anyhow, yes, left is, yes, you do, good job. The left is the font that I chose for my thesis. It took me 2 weeks to find this font and finally get with it. It's Jacob with a K. Jakob. It's an Adobe font, which sucks because I don't have Adobe now. So I still have this font. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The right font. Are any of you guys Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans? That's most of my followers before you guys. So I assume maybe there's like 1 or 2. If not, it's okay. Yes, we hate Adobe, but unfortunately some of the tools are a little goated. The right font is not readable, but it's so cool. It looks so cool, guys, but it's not readable. And it kind of makes the piece go from, okay, yeah, I like this, to, this doesn't feel right. Because you're right, this doesn't feel right. And that's what a good font does to your pieces. I didn't put Comic Sans in because I don't want to do my pieces dirty like that. But, this is the example of good font, bad font. So always make sure to choose good font. Or choose other font other than a Comic Sans and Papyrus. Can't read that shit. Can you even read this? I'm sure you can, but you have to probably squint a little bit. It's a techie font. Writer applications. Are any of you here writers? Or oh god, oh Kai, why are you talking about this? We don't want to hear this. This stinks. So that sucks for you. We have to talk about this. For writer applications, yeah. I had my writer mod write this, so they're very upset, as you can see. Read the instruction. AO3 is okay when it comes to applications for like zines. Would you recommend for lettering? I do be using pirated Adobe, unfortunately. Lettering. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I can ask around if I decide to ever do more classes, because I do know a lot of graphic designers. My degree is communications design, which and then I'm under illustration department. But I had to learn a lot of like graphic design stuff, and we were in the same building. So if needed, and if people are like, oh hey, we want more of this, I will think about doing more classes. But right now, maybe not, just due to the audience count, because this is like a lot of work, no offense. And a lot of people were asking if I'd upload it, and I'm like, I don't know, because I don't want to like have to edit this. I'm already doing this for free. I don't want to spend extra time. I do use Clip Studio, but I won my Clip Studio Paint, and I can't use the font system. I can't type in my Clip Studio, so I have to change to Adobe. I can't update mine either, because this isn't like a subscription based thing, and this is a pretty old Clip Studio, so I can't do that. So I don't know. Yeah, subscriptions. Vector stuff, for Adobe, there's the Fresco that you can like use, and that's free actually, I'm pretty sure. Adobe Fresco is free, and you get to draw in Vector. I just don't like the brushes. I don't know if you can like import brushes. If you can, that makes life a lot easier, but yeah, exactly. I can't use the Clip Studio Paint text. I have to export it to PSD. Writer applications. When an application asks for a website for your portfolio, please give us a website. Websites are easy, free a lot of the time. Get a card, WordPress, GitHub, Wings. We really don't give a fuck, but have a website. Fuck. You can drop documents in a Google folder and link to work, or make a spreadsheet with links. This is specifically for writers. Put a brief explanation of what the work you're linking to is. If your work on your sites are different media types, script versus novel versus short stories, different formats, make that very clear. I don't want endless scroll. Put that shit on different pages. If it's for a fan project, AO3 is often okay, but not if the application says no AO3s. Please always read your fucking applications. Don't put your Tumblr. Please don't put your Tumblr. I'm so pissed off. Fuck. I'm not gonna say what happened because it's really recent and I don't want them to think I'm doxing them, but I got so pissed. I'm not. I try to like just ignore really shitty applications because that's 60% of the applications. But it was so bad. They linked their own fucking Tumblr, and then it was bad. It was so bad. We really don't want to scroll through fucking reblogs or deal with whatever font shit you have going on. It's so bad. Keep in mind, by the way, that people looking through these applications are old and busy. Yeah, the person who's writing this is a little older than me. And some might not have social media and have easy access to look through a fuckload of applications. Please make our lives easier. If you don't, you're not getting a fuck-ass job, bro. I'm like, because, we're not going to look through it if it's really long and if it's not formatted correctly. Because that's one of the rules. We're like, hey, please do this. And then you're like, no, I'm not going to kill you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay, you're just not getting a fucking job. I don't know what to tell you. You're not getting a job. Writer apps. What not to do. A 5,000 plus word reading sample when I asked for 1,500. We are not reading all that. Most of the I don't read that writer's applications because that's not my forte. But when I read any of these, I never vote for them because it's once again, that's not my specialty. So I don't want to give any wrong feedback. I skim through things personally. So it's like, if you're giving me a bunch of words that are not in the word count, we're not reading that, man. We're just gonna be like, okay, hey, sorry, I'm sure it sucks to be you. an excerpt from a longer work with no context to understand it. When am I supposed to know what's happening? If you have like Omega Alpha stuff from Voltron in a One Piece application and you don't give me any context whatsoever, I don't know what I'm reading about, please. I don't know what's going on. And it'll be very confusing for me to be like, okay, well, is this good or is this not, you know? Not safe work with no warnings. That happens a lot. That happens with art too. With art applications. What kind of context would be expected? Ah, let me ask. Let me see if they're online. Hey, Ham. Let me see if Ham's online. I pissed. If they reply, I will let you know. If they reply, they're online. Someone is asking about writer apps on stream right now. If you wanna hop in to reply. Let me send them the link. Let's see. Okay, well, I sent them the link. If they do hop in, I'll let you know and you can ask again. Does that work? I'm assuming that works. Anyhow, let's see. Yeah, of course. Not safe work with no warning. Yep, please tag that shit. I do not need to get flashed. I have a screen protection thing on my phone, so nobody will get flashed, but I used to work with kids back in, like, before college, and when I was looking through applications, like, in the middle of work, or, like, just replying messages and looking through applications, and then I see a penis. And I'm like, oh no, I have little kids around me, no. So please, tag your work. It's not that hard, guys. Don't go over the word count the application asks for. No, please don't. Don't do some cutesy little shit in the comment of the application. This goes for everything, by the way. I'm also very pissed off at this, where they're like, sorry, my other samples are private. Please ask me for permission to see them. No, I don't have the time to do that. You are not getting special treatment. Please, you're not getting your special treatment. Don't do that. Fuck. Pisses me off so much. Do not submit unedited works. Same as sketches. You don't need an outsider editor to look over it, but fuck. Please look over your shit. Don't waste my fucking time. If you send in any unedited work, like the sketches, it just means you don't respect the team going through this. And you don't respect me. And then why are you putting an application in? Do you even want the job? Seems like you don't. You sucker. I think tagging things is very important on social media too, because like we have trigger warnings and stuff, like we want to make it a little better for everyone else. Communications design, specifically my major, is to communicate the design we're doing and communicate the piece that we're doing. And that includes, roadblock ahead, stop signs and shit like that. That's also part of communications design and graphic design. A good design lets people see immediately what it's about. And sometimes these designs are designed to make things better, more accessible, and, better for people who have disabilities, better for people who don't have disabilities, better for everyone in general. So that tangent basically is, just make everyone's life a little easier. It's not that hard. Writer applications, what to do. By the way, these are writing tips from Hamster Cheese 7. You can probably find them on AO3. To make sure, we actually go through your work. Submit a document or a link to a location where your work is easy to access and easy to read. I recently got sent a Tumblr page where it was in a writer's app, and you guys know how usually Tumblr's format is a white or whitish background on whatever you post. The words were gray, like light gray. It was impossible to read. It was like invisible ink. We cannot judge that. It's not me trying to be mean. I physically can't, I can't read that. I don't have a blue light with me. I can't read that. I'm sorry. This isn't Gravity Falls with the Mystery Shack and Journal 3. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't do any fancy colors. Don't give me your fucking Tumblr with glitter sparkles and tiny ass fonts for ants. Can't read that. I'm sorry. Sure, I'm sure it took you a while, but I think it's also better to just copy and paste that and slap it on a Google Doc. Do give a short paragraph or sentence of context for experts. If original works, original pieces, honestly pick the beginning. Beginnings are really hard, so if you can pull that off, it makes you look real sexy. Put tags and trigger warnings. We don't want to be sitting in lunch breaks, eating and then reading a guy, reading about a guy eating ass. Real graphic. Or essay. Or assault or anything. People are on the other side of your fucking applications. Please don't be a piece of shit. Give us warnings. It happens way too often. It just means you don't care, and it means like you don't respect us, so we're not gonna respect you either. Oh yay, we're to open calls. I'm assuming that's why most of you are here. Sorry, I need a glass of water. I hope you guys like the Chikawa that I splatter and Ghost Bear splatter here and there. Anyways, what are open calls? Open calls are usually a public invitation from different studios or organizations asking people to submit work. I know. Did you guys see the Taiwan collab they did recently? Did you guys see this? Please. Did you guys see this? This is Taiwan Chikawa collab. I'm Taiwanese. My favorite character. My friends say I am kurimanju because I drink any soda. I don't like drinking, but I drink any soda and I go. Also, I think I'm lagging. I'm sorry. The Chikawa power is too strong. This is gonna be here in my country this July. I am so hyped. See, July 4th to July 31st. I am going. This is gonna be one of the only Chikawa plushies that I own, and it is gonna be kurimanju. These are all such good food. I'm so happy. Look, I don't like yu and dohwa, and I'm glad it's momonga because I hate momonga. I hate momonga. Fuck momonga. I hate momonga. Fuck momonga. Little piece of shit. No one's home right now. See? Boba for Usagi. Type shit! They know what they're doing. The best character. The goat for bubble tea. They know what they're doing. Shisha for chicken cutlet. It works. Color scheme works. See, guys? This is good art. This is what art is all about. This is what life is worth living for. I need you guys to make stuff like this. This is what makes money, other than money, this is what makes life worth living for. Oh my gosh. Braised pork rice as Chikawa. Potato balls as your boy Hachiware. Yeah. Sorry, I'm peeking. This is the ideal portfolio. You are correct. This came out yesterday. This is so peak. Chikawa Night Market Edition. This is peak, guys. Shaved ice with mango. I forgot his name. Sorry. With this guy, type shit. Kani with, I don't know the English of guapao. Type shit. Do we have any like crab food? I don't know. Probably not in like night markets that are really, cool or whatever. But still, this is what a peak portfolio looks like, guys. But no, I'm serious though. This is a peak portfolio. It's a very good. You know what? We're gonna spend a little time going over this. Not really leaf bun, because this isn't leaf. This is like a type of bread, and then this is braised pork, and then the vegetables. But we are gonna look through this because this is actually, a good way to format your pieces. So you guys see how there is a very clear title here? This is very clear on what the project is. It's the font is correct. They use the Chikawa font, and then they also explained it in English. Yes! Tell everyone this is job application with Chikawa. Yeah. Also, every piece here is a very good standalone piece, and it would be way too overstimulating if you put them all together, and also like a very colorful background, or like a photo of a Taiwanese night market. That would be too much. So a very clean background right here is very good. I know there are people who think, oh, the more things the better. Not quite. We want to be able to let people actually see what they're looking at. So in this case, having a very clear background is very good to showcase every piece individually. Every piece has its enough space, enough breathing room for you to see. Every piece has the same font, the same what's the term? The same brush size for pointers, and you have their logo here. It's all very formatted correctly. The Japanese do graphic design like on a whole different level. Graphic design as a book, Japan's graphic design would be a OVA of it. Oh, they're asking about what who asked about the writer thingy? What was the original question? I'm sorry. Ham just got back to me. I'll go back to Chikawa and let me see. Let me look through the What was the original question? Oh, what kind of context would be expected? Okay. If it's from a fandom. Okay, asked. Anyways, back to Chikawa. Sorry, this is really important. But once again, correct amount of breathing room, and you get to see every piece very, you get enough spacing. You get enough information, and in one single graphic, you are able to tell the whole project. That's very good, and not a lot of people, can do that. It might seem really simple, which it is, but it's not as easy as what I'm trying to say. Being able to fit a lot of information in one is not that easy. I'm sure they have a format already. I'm sure they do this a lot. Like, they probably use the same format all the time. But, it's like, you can always use something as an example to better yourself. And if you use something you like to better yourself, you're only going to get better really quick. But yeah, see? And then they have the plushie versions of these. And then it's the same format. And it's great. And then they have, oh, this is cute. Taipei-san. Taipei-san, let's go! Pictures for references only. Oh, by the way, the red area on this would be the bleed for whenever like you do anything that's printing. If you do a page, it's around this size. This is the bleed, the red outline around here. This is the correct size for like normal bleeds. Bro looks so funny. He's so silly. I love him so much. This is my favorite food, unironically. This is one of my favorite like night market foods. Oyster vermilion, I think is the English. It's miso. And bro has oysters on his head. Dude. Look at him go. It's so good. Come to Taiwan, guys. Come to Taiwan. We'll hang out. I'll bring you guys to night markets and we'll eat all this stuff. It's great. Fuck Momonga. I fucking hate Momonga. Fuck Momonga. I hate Momonga. Oh, Ham replied, enough context to understand what's happening in the excerpt. How do I pronounce this? Excerpt. Yes. They don't need to like summarize the world. Okay. Does that explain what your question is? I hope so. Yeah, okay, great. My tech just told me I exposed my time zones. Guys, I told you my time zone for the stream, so you guys can know. It's fine, Hex, thank you. They said it works. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, come to Taiwan. Girl math. You know, you spend, I don't know however much you spend for the plane tickets, and then you spend $2 on boba tea every single day. I'm not the biggest fan of boba. I know, a sinful thing to say as a Taiwanese. But for gaijins, for foreigners, it's great. But yes, fuck Momonga. Chikawa portfolio rant aside. That was very helpful in my opinion. That was great. Open calls are a public invitation from different studios or organizations asking for people to submit work. Daily boba? Exactly! Oh no, are you okay? Are you okay? How do you get sore throats by the end of the Taiwan trip? I think you just probably caught a cold, bro. Did you drink too many balls? Did you gurgle too many balls in your throat? I'm a little worried. Are you okay? Good morning. Good morning, Equestria. You are living the dream immediately. Oh, too many balls. It's also morning for me. It's like 10 a.m. I usually wake up at like 1 p.m. I am sacrificing my sleep. Too many balls. I know you're living the dream. You have to make some sacrifices. Too many. There's no thing as too many balls. You can have different balls in your throat. Do you prefer Aussians? I'm a very professional person, as you can see. Anyhow, open call, blah, organization asking people to submit work. Usually what you see is for like galleries and museums and stuff, but there are sometimes you see stuff for auditions, more roles and more work opportunities. I just hosted a open call. It is still open, by the way, for creatives for my original project and my indie comic. It is we can look through that later too. It's an accessible way to get talent without needing agents or invitations. Some open calls could be for original magazines, some could be shows, some are paid and unpaid. It's really important for you to read through the document post before, applying, because you might apply for something that you don't like, or you might apply for something that is below your pay that you are not okay with. And then if you accidentally, if you got picked and you're like, oh shit, now I have to decline. That kind of looks bad. So it's okay to read sometimes, guys. Please read. Websites. I had a field day going through my most recent open call in a bad way. In a very bad way. Pissed me off so much. Read the directions, please. When an open call or any work application, this is specifically work now, guys. Ask for a website for a portfolio. Please give them a website. Websites are free, easy, and a lot of the time they don't take... It's really important just as a whole, not just for one project, to have a website. It showcases that you are professional and you know what you're doing. Get a card. WordPress, GitHub, Wings. We really don't give a fuck once again. Just get a website. Instagram does not count as a website. Does any of you apply when you do portfolio, give people Instagrams? Because you can tell me. I will just kill you. It's okay, you can tell me. It's fine. I just want to strangle you to death. But that's okay. We're here to learn. Instagram does not count as a fucking website. If the person looking through it doesn't have an Instagram, we can't look through your portfolio, because you have to have an account to scroll through Instagram, just like Facebook. You scroll 2 seconds and they're like, oh, please log in or have a Facebook meta account. And we're like, what if I'm not willing to do that right now? Or what if I don't have that? And also, a lot of the Instagram that I came across when people gave me portfolios are sketches or just like really messy, and I can't work with that. It's like my Instagram, for example, is not a portfolio site. It's my social media, but it's definitely not my portfolio because I post different things all the time. It's not one set thing. I post like memes, I post my voice acting, I post me barking. So it's definitely not my portfolio, but it is my social media. And normally that's what people do as well. So I don't think it's a good idea to showcase your quote unquote portfolio with memes scattered around and it being really messy. I don't think that's a good idea. Also, there are acceptable quote unquote social media for portfolios. It could be ArtStation, Kara, or something designed to literally be only for a portfolio. DeviantArt does not count, I'm sorry. It also uses AI now, so it's kind of slop. Keep in mind that people who are looking through applications are really old and sometimes busy. Okay, I'm not that old, but I have back pains. Does that count? Let's see how to do that. Yes. And a lot of us, who don't have social media or have to look through a fuckload of apps we can't look through social media. Please just make this easy for us so we can go through your work. I think it's important to have a social media, but yeah, I think for a website with bloggers, maybe they want to see your, like, what's it called? Your fan number. I think there's a smoother way to say that. I'm sorry. Follower number. Sometimes for applications, they're like, oh, you need to have like 10K followers before you can apply. Yeah. It happens. Sometimes for like, let's say, if you're doing a promotional content, we want, I've written these things before, so it's like if I'm looking for someone to do a promotional content, we actually want your audience to be able to see this. So we would want you to have numbers. That makes sense. In that format, that makes sense because it's specifically to promote to people. If you have 0 followers, you have no one to promote to, and we can't spend money on you, or we can't like give you a package for you to promote or to look through, if that makes sense. But normally, I don't think for art applications or for work, people should look through to be like, oh, you have to be this amount of popular to get this job. I think that's dumb. It depends on what you're applying for, obviously, but if it's for work like this, it's probably you probably shouldn't give a fuck about that. There are chances people would want your social media to vet you. I think it's I talk about this too. I vet almost all the people that I work with. I think it's very important because what if they think Taiwan isn't a country? I've had in college in New York, I would talk about my country and then someone from China would be like, oh, you think Taiwan's a country? And I'm like, oh, Henry, what did you just say? And then everyone would go quiet and we're like, huh? So, like, I probably wouldn't talk to him if I knew that's his stance, Like, I probably wouldn't be friends with him. We were friends. Not after that, no. But we were friends. It's like, people might want to vet you to make sure you are chill. Yeah, it was devastating for me. I cried. It was my freshman year. But, like, for example, on my social media, it is, but I just applied to a position. Well, if it's a big company, I wouldn't question. They probably just want to vet you. If it's like an indie project, maybe there is a chance a lot of the times for voice acting specifically, they ask for your social media because they want to know where to credit you. There's also that chance. For zines, they also ask for social media so we know where to credit you. That's mostly it. But sometimes it is for vetting reasons. For example, I'm a lot more political on Twitter. I say stuff like fuck it, fuck ICE. I say stuff like free Gaza, fuck Israel, stuff like that. That usually have people clutching their pearls. But for me, I post that kind of stuff, and I'm like really anti-censorship. I post these stuff to vet people myself, to be like, okay, people who probably would be like, yay ICE, MAGA, Trump cool, to not want to work with me. That's my way of, keeping people at bay. I also have minors D&I, and I have to constantly remind people that I am an 18 plus creator, whether or not, I don't have to do porn to be an 18 plus creator, yes, exactly. I'm the creator and head mod for the One Piece DILF zine and MILF zine. So I do post things that a child should not see. And, I have to constantly be like, hey guys, if you're a kid, you shouldn't be following me. Please go away. You should probably go be playing with Barbies. And that's okay. But yeah, that's what I do personally. That's probably why people ask for your social media. It's usually just to mainly credit you if it's like these stuff. But there are also chances that they are vetting you, which we will talk about one of the last slides. I think we're like 1/3 of done. This is not a short slide. I hope you guys feel like you're learning something. Or you guys think this is worth waking up for. I know some of you have like bad time, like wrong, different time zones than me, and I do apologize if it's late. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks. Let's see. And then yeah, a lot of people, actually not, if we're going on like a college application situation, please, normally they wouldn't ask for like website because they wouldn't be expecting you to have a website, but just as that example, if you give, someone here a Instagram, they are probably 50 or 50 plus, and they probably don't know how to use an Instagram, and they cannot look through your application. Thus, your application is thrown away. And just as a heads up, applications for colleges are hella expensive. So, you have a chance, don't throw it. Hi. Hi, Steve. Website and portfolios, what not to do. 53-minute YouTube video. These are things that I've unfortunately seen and have continuously seen. I'm not watching that. So I don't know how that went because I'm not watching that. Oh, okay. I know, like, I got like 300 comments of people being like, oh, I'll be here. And I was like, so low-key, that's what I was expecting. And I'm like, oh no, is this really a bad time? But I did try to like make it as early for me as possible so I can catch some of you. Sorry. A single Twitter link, not a Twitter page, a single Twitter link. It wasn't even a thread. It was a single Twitter link on like one single art piece. That's not a portfolio. And that was a time waster for me. I was not pissed. I just remember it enough to put it here. Oh, and also don't say, fuck, I only have a Google Drive when I ask for no drive. You are not cute. This isn't cheeky. Don't fucking apply if you can't. Follow the rules. Please follow the rules. Yes, I think it is a plus point to have a website. It showcases that you are a professional. I do think having a website, not a card, like an actual website, would be better than like a Google Drive file of pieces. I think those two are very different levels, like when it comes to who's more professional and who's more suited for the job or gig. Let me see what NeoCities is. I haven't heard of that one. I'll check. I forgot if I talk about website design. I might. I will check. NeoCities. Oh, that's cute. Maybe not like soup. I don't know. I feel like it can count for some people as like a professional. To me, personally, I think it would work because it's a fun website and a fun format, and people don't do this anymore. But if you do this with Neo Cities, please make sure card. The thing with card is it has a limited amount of things to use before you have to pay to have like another design. I'll show you my website for example, and if you want to send me your card, I can see if like I can point out some of the points. For NeoCities though, I'm just looking through Google Pictures. As long as you can, at the very least, make it clear where everything is. But for like job, I think that would be a no. For fan stuff, for indie stuff, yes, I think yes. For LinkedIn, maybe no, because you kind of have to realize that unfortunately a lot of people who are looking through applications right now are AI. And when AI see colors, I don't know how they feel, but when I see colors as an artist, I like it. It does look a little messy, so you might need to find a way to make it very accessible and be like, hey, here's where my portfolio stuff is, or here's where you need to click, or make it clear, I will show my website as an example. I'm not saying this is the best example, by the way. This is just an example. So anything that, can showcase, here are my pieces exactly. This is just, it's in your face. It's like, here it is. I don't know how to use GitHub personally. I know Ham uses GitHub, and I think they mentioned that. Man, that's a good question. I'll check with Ham. I don't know how often they're on LinkedIn, but I will check with them. Let me see if here, this is my card for another project for someone who asked about card. There is only so many. This is like, I think this is the max for what we could use. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't used card in 1 second, but most of the card portfolios I see only have this amount of size to put their pieces, and then it would be like 1, 2, and then I'd have to scroll 3, 4. Personally, and I know a lot of other people and professors, they would prefer to be able to see things like, since there's a big screen, I tried to see everything in one spec. Like here, like I want to see everything in like boop boop, and then I can go on, compared to 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh yeah, for sure. I know there are like free sites. I'm pretty sure Wix is free. This is an example I was going to show later. Let me look through. I haven't looked through full of Emily's stuff. This is a resume example I was going to give. Okay, yeah. Mountain conservation. Yeah, see? Okay, this is Wix. This is Wix, and you can see like all three. You can see things a lot smoother. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, compared to 1, 2, 1, 2, and then me having to scroll. Also on mobile too. Some of the times people go through applications on mobile. Maybe card is a little easier, but I'd have to scroll a lot compared to like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a little more time consuming to go through card, I will admit. And it is a little, because most of the time I also see card being like the first homepage, and then it's like who they are, and then a few links. I don't know. I think for zine applications, it's definitely fine. I don't know how other people feel for open calls and for like indie stuff. I know a lot of people use it. I just personally don't really like it. For the GitHub stuff, the answer that I got was, as long as your personal website looks professional. Yeah, no, at the end of the day, if you can make it look professional, and if you can make it look like in a good format, then go for it, you know. I'm just basing this off of like most of the examples that I'm seeing, which is the same 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 and scroll format, which makes it a little harder for me to go through things. Also, I find people having a hard time looking through their own work and choosing what's actually what people want, like good. But I also have that problem because sometimes it's like, I don't like this piece, but everyone's like, oh, you need to put this piece on your portfolio because this showcases XYZ. But sometimes I hate it. But sometimes I have to put it on to be like, okay, well, this showcases what I can do in this direction. And maybe you need like another opinion, but I find a lot of pieces people choose to not be their best work. And then when I scroll, I'll be like, oh, well, they have this really good work, but it's in the bottom. And if I didn't scroll to the end, I wouldn't have found it, you know? And that's kind of a shame. Yeah, just don't say, fuck, I only have a Google Drive. Or be like, haha, lol, hee hee hoo hoo. Don't do that. Open calls are a lot more serious and not fandom-based things. Please don't do that. You don't know these people. You're giving yourself a bad rep. You're showing people that you are silly, possibly immature, and I don't know if I want to work with someone like you. I really don't care how good you are. You know, these things showcases to me that you are unprofessional and unreliable. I don't want to be working with you. Also, please keep in mind that I only host 18 plus projects. So these are all applications that I've gotten from 18 plus people. These are students and graduates walking among us. These are, yes, and I might be talking about you, and these are Pratt students whose applications was really asked that I still remember it. Isn't that great? I need to go grab water. I'll be back in like 2 minutes because I have to travel to get water. Sorry, y'all talk. Yep, I went for water. Let's see what I miss. Yeah, no, I have to stay hydrated. Oh, no, yeah, when I don't talk, it bounces. It's like an overstimulated child. Like me. What to do to make sure I actually go through a fucking website. An easily accessible website. If you're applying for a specific position, please make sure the page you link showcases that. Oh, it's probably because of either the music or something. An example of that is if you're applying for graphic design, but then you just give me your portfolio, and your portfolio is only illustration. I'm just gonna assume you can't read, dude. I've seen a lot of those. Or if you have different parts in your portfolio, but then it's like, it's not easy to scroll through, or I don't know what to click to find that, I wouldn't be able to find it, you know. I've come across really good looking websites, but it's not clear what I should click on. Like, I've had a comic artist that applied for comic artists, but their portfolio first pages are like illustration pieces, full pieces, and I had to email them to be like, hey, I'm assuming you made a mistake. I really like their piece. That's the only reason I emailed them. I can see the composition that I wanted. But under normal circumstances, I really wouldn't have reached out. But I was like, hey, where's your comic examples? Because you did not send me that. So please make sure you do that. For example, let's see. I have my tabs, you know, merchandise design, comics. And these are all like different pieces to showcase what I can do. But at the very least, these are easily accessible and you can read. Or like voice acting. And these are all very different. But a lot of the time, it's just I don't see these things, so I wouldn't be able to know what I can click on. And that's a problem. Oh no, we're only on page... Oh, we're on page 17. Okay, phew. I was like, what? Page 5? Squarespace. It's hella expensive. Don't use it. It's so fucking expensive. I hate it. Anyhow, yeah, to make sure a page showcases that. I use Squarespace because one of my professors did that, and I really liked her format. So I was like, oh, what do you use? And she's like, Squarespace. And then I made the mistake of... It's $200 a year, I think. I don't know. I think... And that was with a student discount. So, yeah. Be careful, guys. Your strongest pieces that aren't super long. I've encountered works and portfolios that are like 10 plus pages. I'm assuming it's kind of like a PPT, like a Canva. I'm sorry, not Canva, like a... Wait, I think that was Canva. What is it called? I'm sorry. Let me check. Website. Kara. Sorry, Kara. I've seen like Kara pages that are like 20 pages long. And it is all the things together, you know? It's like, okay, here's my full portfolio. I have one of those too. But a professor, actually a director for my college said this, and I thought, I didn't like her words, but now I do. I think it makes sense. She said to split up your portfolio, because she was right. If you have a 20-page portfolio and only like page 5 and 7 are the things I want and that you are applying for, I don't even know if I'm going to scroll that far, you know? Like if I don't see something that immediately catches my eye on the first few pieces, I'm probably not going to scroll through. And a lot of people are also doing the same because we have a lot of portfolios to look through. Try to split things up. Try to focus. This is the same thing with the zine applications. If we're looking for 3 to 5 pieces and you give me your full portfolio, I'm not reading that. Because it's not my job to go through all of this. It's really cool you made a whole portfolio and it's all really good. But I've encountered things where it's like, here's their animation reel on page 3 and then on page 7 is their graphic design stuff. Which is all really cool, but these are completely different things, you know? So it's really important to try to split things up according to the job. Because it's not my job to look through your whole portfolio to find the things I want. If I'm offering a job, you should not be giving me more fucking work. That also pisses me off. So many people do that. They're like, oh, here's my whole portfolio. Like, you can let me know, I guess. And I'm like, I guess? Who are you talking to? Hello? I guess? Good gods. Yeah, there's an attitude problem. It's not even funny. It's people that are like my aged. It's that are using like, haha, IDK, haha, whatever, Lamau, yeah. And I'm like, guys, this isn't funny. You're not cute. This isn't Gen Z lingo. This is you being super unprofessional. I cannot be expected to work with you if you're going to be super immature and super unprofessional. I think it's okay if you've known this person for a while, you know? But if it's like, hey, I don't know you, and this is my application, Lamau, what's that, whatever, haha, what? Why would I give you a job? Because that just sounds like I don't know. It sounds like I can't do this with you. Because if I give you something important, are you just going to Lamau it over? I can't have you Lamau it over. I need you to actually work. Is the music still running, by the way? I can't tell. Because I'm still playing it, but... Well, let me know if you guys can still hear the music. Oh no! Have you guys just heard no music this whole time? Have I just been talking? And you guys have not hearing anything? What? but it showcases it showcases the music. It is serious, but I was gonna be like, oh, I don't want you guys to just hear me talk and yap. Oh, okay. Would you guys prefer no music? I can also just go back to no music. Sorry. It is serious, but I do make jokes here and there. Okay. Sorry. Here, y'all tell me if music or not, and whoever wins, I'll do that. Anyways, I'll continue. 1 to 2. I know Good Kid doesn't do copyrights, but yeah, you know what? Just in case, this is good. I know they have like, they're like, you can put our songs on stream. That's fair. That's fair. It's okay since it's been serious this whole time. 1 to 2 minute demo reel. I know people were asking for animation stuff. Please make it short. This goes with voice acting too. Short and easy to digest. If a 30-minute animation reel is too much, some goes with your work. That goes with, any physical pieces too. I should be able to go through your pieces fast and easy. Also, if it's a demo reel, I have to sit down to watch it, and I don't want to spend 52 minutes on a YouTube video. I'm sure it's cool, but it's like recently I got a YouTube video as their demo reel, but it was like a music video, and that was their only link, and that kind of sucks because that only showcases me that you can do one style, and it kind of doesn't show me anything else. A demo reel for animation people are supposed to be split pieces to showcase, oh, I can do this, 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 and this. Some good examples I got are like cleaning animation. They were able to showcase the original and just sketches they did, and then the cleanup. And, they were able to show a lot of pieces. And it was really good. That's what people want to see. That's what we want to see. Resume! Please make a professional one. I am so serious. Personally, I don't give a fuck about our resume. I really don't care about what you've accomplished. That sounds mean, but I don't judge someone by that. I don't judge your work by that. And if there is something that I like, good job. That's great. That's an extra, but that's not the main point. But these resumes are very important to showcase that you are a professional. If you don't have a resume, I can't, if you don't even have experiences in doing something like that, or showcasing your work, or telling people what you can do, I can't trust that, I can work with you as a professional colleague. That's mainly, personally, that's why I asked for a resume. And the way you format things showcases your skill set as an artist. Once again, you are formatting and you are presenting yourself. So it's important to present yourself well. Graphic design is a very important skill when it comes to good communication design. And it can be very helpful in formatting your compositions. You can tell what your vocal point is. These are all very important things. I know graphic design can be very daunting and very annoying, but it ruins your life if you know a good graphic design. It's like, I used to be able to enjoy things, guys, and then now I would go out and I'd be like, oh no, this font is not readable, or oh no, the background and this font doesn't work well, and now I can't enjoy things anymore. Anyways, what do you think is good to provide per experience and determine what kind of stuff do you think is personally, once again, I don't care if you want, if you put you worked at a fast food restaurant, that's cool, I don't mind. And that's what college tells you to, I think. I think though, if you're applying for a position that you have previous work experiences for, please do put that in. I have this example you're seeing right now is my voice acting resume. I have a voice acting resume and a art resume that are the format is the same, but the inside stuff is different, because this is specifically for this job and that is specifically for that job. So does that answer your question? I'm sorry. Regardless, a cohesive design and font choice can make your applications a lot better. And the wrong one can make the whole thing go from 80 to 20. Once again, if you do a Comic Sans, I don't know who's going to take you seriously. I'm sorry. Resumes. What not to do, because these are some things that I've encountered again. Pixelation. Daunting. 72 DPI makes a PDF hard to read and pixelated. If I can't read this, I'm not going through it. And make sure it's an actual PDF, not a fucking JPEG. Please. So many people make that mistake. Put IDK what this means or nothing in the resume box. You ain't cute. You ain't shit. And you ain't getting the job because you already are very clearly unprofessional. I get that's... I've been getting that so much, like, the past week. It's pissing me off. You're not, guys, you're 18 at the very least. This isn't funny anymore. IDK what this means, you have Google. Trying to figure out, fill out past job stuff. Right. So don't give them a 2,000 words at a tiny text. It's important to know how to summarize. It's important to be like, hey, I did this position at this job in like maybe one sentence if you have to. It is important for your portfolio. Sometimes it's important to be able to tell people what the project is about. And I also encourage that for portfolio work. For resume, I think it's important to, unless you have space, I think it's important to keep it like short and straight to the point. I get so many IDK what this means and nothing. It's really infuriating. I also get like a bunch of like word jumbles and not applicable. What do you mean not applicable? Not applicable because you're not getting a job? Then why did you apply? And why did you waste my time? I need to strangle you. Fuck. Unformatted bullet points. Very hard to read. And please be careful with Google Documents. The wrong sharing permissions can make things deletable and editable. I see some Google Docs for resumes, and it's just like a jumble of words. It's really hard to read, and I'm not going through a jumble of words. You know, why would I do that? Here's what to actually do. Clean and clear formatting. Doesn't need to be fancy, but readable. That's why I said no to the jumbled words, because it was not readable and it was all in bold. At least don't bold everything. Why would you bold everything? I think that was a writer or voice actor's application. I forgot, but see, it's like I can tell you probably don't have any design experience just from things like this. It's really easy to tell when someone don't know color theory or when someone don't know anatomy or, you know, stuff like that. So it's kind of important to either choose your pieces or hone your skills. And it's okay if you don't get chosen, by the way. I just want everyone to remember this. It's okay if you don't get chosen. It just means do better. And, you know, you get what's the opposite of accepted? Rejected. You get rejected a lot in life. It's okay. Rejection makes you better. Rejection that you can take, and if there's any feedback to it, is what makes you better. It's important to, you know, listen to what people say when they're trying to help you, and it is important to actually be able to consume feedback. I wasn't able to consume feedback during high school years, and you know, like, that wasn't helpful. I wasn't in a helpful, like, area. I wasn't in a very good space, physically and mentally. So I wasn't able to take any kind of criticism. But I wasn't able to grow because of that. And I see in college, a lot of kids aren't able to take any criticism. I see professors not being able to... I see professors only giving... like, it's a compliment sandwich, but they can't say anything bad, because they can't risk getting fired, and kids are easily sad nowadays, I think. But you can't grow as a creator if you can't take any criticism. I see so many people, when they are about to get criticized, they either backpedal or they just continue to talk, and they're like, oh well, this is how it's supposed to be, or like, well, that my idea, or well, actually. And we can't help you if you don't want to be helped. Once again, that's okay, but if you don't want to be helped, maybe don't spend the money on going to classes yet. Just, let's try to be in the correct mindset when we're asking for help, I guess is what I'm saying, because it's really bad for everyone, I think, because we can't tell you the truth because you get sad, but then you ask for help, but we can't help you. I don't know, it's just messy. Anyways, if possible, tailor it to have work positions similar to what you're applying for, as mentioned earlier. No longer than 2 pages. Most people will probably look at the first page, so try to keep the important things there. For some non-artist works like writers, sensitivity readers, translators, a resume is what shows your credibility. It's very important, actually. I got a sensitive reader application with no resume at all recently. When I asked for the resume, they said they aren't comfortable in giving it to me, so I don't know why they applied. A published study, publish short stories, having translation credits on book projects, etc. I have translation credits on like government projects, for example, as a translator. That's what I would put in my resume if I had a translation resume. Fan fiction does not really count as published writing, by the way. When I was doing my open call, I got a couple of like people apply for translators or sensitivity readers, and they gave me Voltron fanfics, and I wouldn't know how to judge that, especially because I don't. I can't read that and tell you if this is right or wrong. That's your job, right? Like, and if you have a physical, like, published study, or if you have actual reasons on why this is credible, that's helpful. I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just, I can't give you a job when I don't know how credible you are. And I think a lot of people who apply to open apps, or indie work, think of this as a fan thing and treat this as a fan thing, and they're very unprofessional most of the time. And you might get blacklisted. And I don't think that's what you want. We want your original works. I'm going to show you guys an example of a good resume. This is 2 pages, and it's in their website, and they're able to showcase the whole thing in one single spread. So I can be able to read the whole thing. I remember you mentioned like 2,000 words. This might be a good way to showcase it on your website if it's like really long. A spread, formatted, and you're able to read this whole thing like this. They mention what they did, they mention their job, their title, what they can do, it's very good. This is a very good example that I like personally. This is, the email, the website, where you can find them at, their experiences, what they do. Like, this person recently just graduated. Right, exactly. They just graduated for their thesis. Big congratulations to Emily. I believe one of the project was like talking about Japanese kimonos, and they told me, and they showed me their research and their resources, and I would trust them with any of my textiles. In fact, I do. They're currently doing some stuff for me because they have these things, my open call doesn't include textiles, but these are like good examples of why a published study or a thesis or something shows me that I can actually trust what you're talking about. If that makes sense. Because if I don't have any of these, why would I trust you? Right? Anyways, back to work. Actually, I believe, let me check. I remember they mentioned, because formatting, on InDesign can be hard. I think they mentioned something on what they used. Let's see. Let me look through this real quick just so I can know if there's anything. They mentioned Wix being one of the easiest platforms that they use, and they tried a lot of free website builders. Oh, they said that they made the document on Google Slides because it's easy to share and edit, and it's easy to use if people who don't know how to use InDesign because Adobe sucks. Or like Illustrator. I don't know how to use Illustrator. That's so hard. I still don't. But that should be helpful. If you don't know how to use InDesign, Adobe, Illustrator, and you don't want to learn, that's okay. We know how to make PowerPoints, right? Are any of you voice actors here? I mentioned voice acting in my my first page or so, but we will be mentioning on voice acting stuff. If there's no VAs, I am sorry. You will have to bear with me. Just a little bit. I like InDesign compared to Illustrator, but yeah, it's like people who are graphic designers tell me they kind of just use Illustrator for everything. Because you can, once you master Illustrator, it's kind of everything. And I'm like, yeah, I just hate Illustrator. I'm sorry. Casting calls for voice actors. What are those? Casting calls are from casting directors, producers, or directors for actors, models, or performers to audition for specific roles in upcoming productions. It is a job listing for voice actors. Just personally, and not just for casting call, by the way, a lot of these projects don't make it fucking clear if it's paid or not. It's like it's pulling teeth. I don't want to be the one asking if this thing is going to be paid because I feel like a dick. Please, if you're going to have a project, make it clear on your job post. Just, be like, this is paid, this is not paid. It's really important. I don't know why. I feel like if you don't mention it's paid, people are just going to assume it's unpaid. Which is a downside for you if it's paid. Because there's a lot more people that are interested in paid work, obviously. So if you don't mention that, the chances of your stuff, you getting like applications is a lot less. Be aware of this problem as an applicant as well. If you don't see it saying paid or unpaid, chances are it's unpaid. And also, I think it's really shitty if it's like an unpaid project and then they just don't say it, and when you get picked, they're like, oh yeah, it's unpaid, we just didn't mention it, and you were expecting to get paid. They're like, that's really shitty too. There are, when I was applying, I applied for a zine position as a voice actor, and they didn't say if it's paid or not, but I just assumed it was going to be paid because that's how it's used to be. If you don't say it's unpaid, people just assume it's paid now. It's the opposite, I feel like, because I want to be careful now. But a lot of the voice actors who got in were telling them, okay, well, here's my PayPal and here's my rates, and they were like shocked. They were like, oh, this is unpaid, this is for a charity. And we're like, why the fuck didn't you tell us that? You didn't mention that anywhere on the post. And they're like, oh, it's on our website. I'm like, well, it's not on your casting. That's important. No, we're not going to look through your website. This is really important. You need to tell us this. And a couple of people left because of that. Because it was like an audiobook. Like, this isn't like a couple lines. This is like a couple hours dedicated to work. So that was not cool. Auditions. I've made a casting call guideline for animation students because animation students are dumb and they make a lot of mistakes that will make them blacklisted before they even graduate. So, I'm just saying. But this is for voice actors right now. Most casting calls come with a document or somewhere that shows what to do to submit your auditions. Please read that and go with their format. There is a reason why the format was given, and the chances of your audition not being picked if you don't follow these rules are very high. If there are voice claims on certain characters for projects that the audition specifies you fit, only do the audition if you can be sure you can sound like that. If I'm like, hey, here is the character, and I want you to sound exactly like that, and then you give me something else. Thanks, you wasted both of our times. Read through the whole casting document if things are too long. Of course, there are chances, going back, there are chances that people are interested in listening to other takes. In that case, fine. If they're like, hey, we only want this, and you can't do this, don't do it. Because there's fandoms and stuff, just saying. Read through the whole casting document. If things are too long, try to see if there are bolded areas or bullet points. This goes with all of you, because I know people don't like to read. Those are usually the rules. Take the time to read in the document as thoroughly when you can. Auditions. What not to do? Bad recording space. Phone mic. This is not my normal mic. This is my Apple earphone jack mic. I have a Rode 1NT. I'm not going to be recording with this because I cannot work in that format. I can't edit that. There's going to be too much background noises. I can't do that stuff. Wrong file names and specs. This goes for all of you as well. If I especially ask for like a PSD file and you give me Clip Studio, no. What if I don't have Clip Studio? Same with this. If I specifically ask for an MP3 and you give me a WAV, bye. Just like if I say no Google Drive and you give me a Google Drive, bye. So, have no header or body in your email. Goes for all of you as well. You aren't 5. You know how to write a normal fucking email with proper etiquette. I've seen so many people that are just like, I've had people who are supposedly not kids, just have nothing in their body and their title and no audition, and their title is, "Hi, my name is blank. I am 19 and I really want to be in Has-Been Hotel." Okay. And they keep on emailing me the same thing over and over again. They're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't," and then the same thing. No, next email, no header, and their body is, "Sorry, I forgot the body. My name is blank. I really like Blake Hussey or some other cool actor's name, and I want to be like that. How do I audition?" I don't know. Maybe if you fucking read the application, you would know. That pisses me off, by the way. That's something I mentioned later. But so many times people reach out clearly not reading the document and being like, "Hey, how do I apply?" Maybe read. Maybe fucking read, asshole. If you're not going to spend 1 minute reading through the casting call or the document or the post itself, why would I give a fuck? Because you clearly don't give a fuck. You aren't 5, but you be acting like you're 5. Sending me your demo reel only and saying, "Not sure who I'd fit, let me know." And I'll let you know by blocking your ass. I'm not doing that job for you. People do this not just in voice acting. People do this in any application. They would send me their whole portfolio and be like, "Hee, I want to help. I like to get paid, and I don't know what makes you think fits me best. Let me know." No. That's your job to figure it out. Why the fuck would on what situation do people think this is a good idea? Please tell me. Because it's not. It just makes you look very lazy and very incompetent that you can't do anything. You can't even make your own choices. Like, man, come on. And also, always ask and try to get permission before you dub over something. I see way too many voice actors just dubbing over work without consent. It's really troubling for artists and creators. Not everyone wants their work dubbed or used without their permission. Same goes for artists. Don't try to fix people. Yeah, give them a listen, they just mass emoji. I don't know, because my job isn't like on LinkedIn or anything. So that, I don't know. I hope not. That would be a really shitty AI job that they just did. But I see a lot of people doing like fixing your piece without any consent. That's so rude. That's so rude. Nobody asked. Don't do that, for fuck's sake. Auditions. What to do? Clear and clean auditions. No background noises and good studio space. Most of the time, if you don't have a good studio space, a lot of projects cannot work with you. Good information and clear demo rules in your email. Demo reels aren't needed, but these are good ways to show people you have prior experience and are a professional voice actor. A proper, credible CV or IMDb page. If asked, of course. Any credible sites, Wikipedia that showcases your work is always good. This goes for all of you as well. Did you know that IMDb doesn't just work for actors and voice actors, it also works for artists? Let me find an example just for you guys. This is my boss's IMDb. He's not an actor, he's an artist. But, you see? Oh, I did not... He was in Marvel Snap? Oh, I did not know that. But see, you can... having an IMDb is similar to having like a Wikipedia page for your quote-unquote portfolio and your work that you've done in the past. You know, you can add these things. You'll be like, oh, I did a project of this and I was the XYZ, blah, 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 blah. I have an IMDb too. It's important for my job. Okay, my least favorite, but also favorite part, social media. I'm assuming all of you have social media. And you might wonder, why is this so important? Why are you making a whole slide about this? My social media is my private business. I shouldn't be judged on what I post to get a job. Wrong buzzer. I will say, I try to reply and, or, like everyone who commented. And I see a lot of people who follow me for this specific thing. I have not seen anyone with ProShip DNI. It's been so refreshing. It's been great. And I am really proud of you guys. I am so happy. By the way, ProShip DNI, people are using that in a very wrong way. ProShip doesn't mean problematic shipping. It means pro shipping. It means I'm okay with shipping anything. I don't care. But after COVID, a bunch of kids came in because nobody had any places to go, and then they decided to mess around. People, especially dumb little kids, think ProShip means problematic shipping. And another problem for that is purity culture that I can talk about for ages. Do you know how many little kids have, canceled me? 1 or 2. For, an IRL job that I have. Because they're like, oh, this person is problematic. And I was like, okay, well, listen, man, if VivziePop comes to me with Amazon money, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, hell yeah, thank you. I'd love to work with Alex Brightman type shit. And I'd take the Amazon money and put that on my IMDb and skyrocket probably as a voice actor. Any industry professionals, our students, people who make the shows you like, we're all fucking weirdos. That's why we do this shit. That's why we get paid shitty money and we do these things because we like it and because we're doing it for the love of the game. We're not doing it to get, we're not doing it to be billionaires, dumbass. We're doing it because we're all fucking freaks and we're weirdos. Duh. But we know how to distinguish between what's real and what's not. Your stance on these things shows that, you are not a mature professional that we can or want to work with. It just makes you look like a chronically online baby with no critical thinking skills. And I understand why kids are super online nowadays. It's because, Flash Player dying, America just sucking in general, and there's no safe spaces online anymore. So it's not their fault that they are online, but it is their parents' responsibilities to make sure what their child consumes online, in my humble opinion. I have minors DNI. That is what I do as an adult because that's my responsibility, and it ends there. I will not interact with a kid. It ends there. Go away. Please go away. I actually got fired for a job once, a voice acting job, because one of the voice actors do porn, and that's his main. We're good friends. He does porn. We're good friends. And I mentioned it to the project head because there was a lot of kids in the project, and I was like, hey, of course I talked to the guy before. I was like, hey, there's a lot of kids here. This guy only has a porn main. Is that okay? Maybe you want to rethink your choices. And they were like, no, it's fine. They very clearly didn't vet the guy because I was talking to them while we were working in the middle of a work thing, and I was like, oh yeah, he posted something like some incest stuff recently. Haha, lamau. And then they paused and they were like, oh my god, what? And then they fired him. Are we dead ass? And then they fired me because quote unquote the co-director is 16 and isn't comfortable in me still talking to the pro shipper. All I'm gonna say is I'm still the one that has a job, and I haven't heard the project on any updates since 2023. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm just saying. Yeah, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. So once again, I'm very happy to see, like, I have not seen a pro ship DNI in my comment section for this post. I was really worried making this slide because I was like, oh no, a bunch of dumbasses are gonna tell me to die. Because, you know, they love giving death threats and they love doxing people. I get death threats all the time for these kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, you're 15, man. You probably shouldn't be online. Like, come on. Why are you on Twitter? And cancel culture is real. Tomska says, anything you say online can and will be founded by the person you said it about. And he is correct. Whatever you post, whoever you talk about will always be there. Digital footprint is very real and people will always remember. I will always remember and I will be black. I have a very long blacklist and they all have good reasons. Like, you know, being a dick, never being on time, never answering our messages, being late on check-ins, canceling people, calling people slurs, doxing people, or spending zine money on Genshin Impact. That happened before. They spent a lot of money on Genshin Impact. It was not my project, but holy shit. Extra notes. It was a bad situation. They spent like a lot of money on Genshin. Like the finance mod, like just basically stole half the funds. And they couldn't do anything like legally because there was no paperwork. I think they did call the police. It's been a while. It's been a really long while. Yes, I think so. Yeah, it is the P51. It was very infamous. Yeah, I remember hearing, I wrote about this, like, exactly, I wrote about this when, I was, because recently, I was like, hey, oh yeah, when I got, canceled a couple years ago, normally, like, the professional way is to not acknowledge this, and I don't really care about it, because once again, I'm the one with a job and you're not, but, I just want people to know that people do remember. I remember. And I will always remember this stuff. And you have wronged me forever. And you have been blacklisted in my community and with all the people that I work with. I'm just saying. You probably don't want that. And you probably didn't think that much because your little brain isn't developed yet. So don't be doing that. That's stupid. Extra notes. If you still want to work at a company, don't badmouth them on your main. Lots and lots and lots of times, I see people not getting accepted into projects and jobs and zines, and then they complain and accuse of the project of playing favorites, and they try to cancel the moderators. And then they send hate mail with anonymous on Tumblr. It's a very pussy thing to do. I, for example, would yell at you and own it. If I go on a argument, I will own my argument and the words that I say. Because I think before I speak. Think before you speak, guys. It's so important. I know this sounds really dumb, but good job. You are now on a blacklist. Forever. And I will tell people who work with me, and I will tell new people, and new people, and new people, and they will tell new people, and new people, and new people. And you will never be getting a job, and you will always wonder why. Oh man, I wonder why I never get a job. I'm not like over exaggerating. I've seen people who did this before and then they also publicly wonder, they're like on twitter.com, they're like, oh, I wonder like why I never get into jobs. Yes, Jacob, I wonder why. I wonder why. Have a private space or an alt. Some things you don't want your employer knowing. Be Hannah Montana for real. It's okay if you want to talk about specific things or your fetish or whatever, but if you work with like kids, or if you, that sounds wrong, I'm sorry, if you work in like a children's book department, or if you work at Nickelodeon as a voice actor or like a storyboard artist, maybe have an out, just so if your employer tries to vet you, they wouldn't have like a reason to fire you over it. Yeah, I think there's a law about that now, but I've seen like big companies want to make sure you don't get canceled, because it also falls back to them. I've seen a lot of like animation companies, I can't say who because I don't want them to get my ass, but I've seen big application companies around the world, animation companies around the world, and people who work there to be like, hey, yeah, my employer told me to be as discreet as possible and to not get canceled because it looks bad on them. Do dumb things online, accept the consequences of your action. Fuck around and find out. Vetting is an important process in hiring, once again. I know people probably don't think about it, but it is. We always vet our people because it's important to make it's important as my job, if I'm a moderator or if I'm a project head, to make this a safe space for everyone. And I want to make sure everyone is able to work together, like freely and without prejudice, XYZ. So if you a hater, I will not be working with you because I don't want you to be mean to my other people. And I don't want problems to be happening. Highlights on things that also piss me off. Can you guys tell at this point there's a lot of things that piss me off? Haha. Applying for open positions with non-relevant portfolios. You aren't slick, motherfucker. I'm not remembering you and giving you the job. Not all attention is good attention. In this case, I will remember you to blacklist you. When working on open apps, just this most recent one, I've gotten people that applied for social media because that's on the top, and that's like, hey, we need this right now. And then it's their art portfolio. Yeah. Okay. I'm never hiring you. I'm sorry. I don't care how good your stuff is. Fuck you. Why would you do that? This isn't funny. And no, don't do that. You're giving me more work. Don't give me false hope. Piss me off. Anyways, send me your full portfolio without a normal greeting and saying, I don't know where I'll fit, but I like to be a part of this. Buzzer sound. Someone can't read, and at least say hello first to ask if I have any space for something. I think people do this in good faith, where they're like, oh, like, I want to help out, but it just comes off as pretty unprofessional, and it comes off as you're probably a kid. I don't know where I'll fit, but I'd like to be a part of this. Are you dead ass? So many people do that. Why? Be late to meetings. You being late shows me that you don't care about my time. And your time is more important than mine. When someone gives you a chance, please take it and be ready for it. In the current job market, when nobody has jobs and AI is taking over, either looking through your applications or, people with senior jobs are not getting enough work. People who graduated before you aren't getting work. This is a very bad market right now. So when you have any chance, please polish it and please make sure you don't just waste this chance. I started my open call currently to give people potentially some work because I know how bad the current situation is. I wasn't going to originally. I was going to throw this thesis away because I didn't like the pacing. But I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, maybe I can make this into something that's better. And maybe I can make it so people are interested in this, and maybe I can make some money to fund some people because everything sucks. And when I'm going out of my way to do this and formatting things, giving people chances in work, I still see so many things that, unfortunately waste my time. And I see a lot of people just being very rude and very unprofessional, and it's just so bad. And I almost second question myself. I'm like, why did I do this in the first place? because it just shows me how not ready a lot of people are. Being rude and entitled in your applications. I don't owe you shit. If you can't be professional in your fucking emails and application, that just means you can't be professional at work. Bye. I don't care how good your work is. I don't want to work with you. Harassment. If I see you harassing someone, get out. Bye. Any cancel post, you being a dick, check your digital footprint. Check your digital footprint. Don't agree to a schedule you cannot keep and communicate when things come up. When you are working with a team, this machine works with every little screw and bolt. It is crucial to be on time. It is crucial to be on time for check-ins, for meetings, and to reply and let us know if anything's going on. If you can't be in time, let us know. If something comes up, if there's an emergency, that's fine, but you need to let us know before we can come to the conclusion that you didn't just ghost us and we need to kick you out. This is important for people who are doing commissions too. Don't take more work. I keep on seeing nowadays that artists who take work and then just ghost their clients. Why would you do that? That's such bad rep. Please take what you can do. Fuck. Continue. There's 3 slides. Apply for work in a style that doesn't match the examples they are looking for. If we ask for Mona Lisa and you give me fucking Picasso, all my homies hate Picasso, I will not be working with you. If we ask for comedy and you give me angst, please just leave. This works especially for art styles. If we ask for... I've come across this myself when I'm throwing in applications. And I probably waste their time too, and I feel bad. When I came back to Taiwan, I applied for a lot of art jobs, but a lot of them says they only want Japanese and Korean anime webtoon styles, and that's not what my style is, even though white Americans cannot tell the difference, because I keep on having white American professors tell me that my style is very anime. And then in Taiwan or in Asia, people are like, hey, you have a very American style. And I'm like, make it make sense, please. But still, I never get the job because my style isn't what they want. And that makes sense. Same goes with this. If this isn't something you think you can pull off, or you don't have examples of the similar things, I don't know if you want to apply. You might just be a bad look. Asking in the fucking comments on something that is mentioned in caption or the post itself, it shows me you didn't read and didn't look over things yourself. If you can't do the bare minimum, why would I trust you with other things? Perfect example. A lot of people asked for the link on my original post. I have the link on the post itself and the description, and that pissed me off. Guys, this is a free thing that I'm giving you. Fuck you mean, where's the link? Are you blind? Oh my god. Also, I made a voice acting post a couple months ago. It's been closed. I still get people being like, where's the link? How do I apply? Is this still open? No. The first thing in the description is this is closed. You troglodyte! I don't like people. Can you guys tell? I don't like people. I really don't. It just really showcases to me that you cannot read and you cannot do anything. Gods, please. Bringing unprofessional etiquette to your professional setting. It's okay to have boundaries, yes, and talking in lingo, Gen Z, etc., but it's important to be aware of your surroundings. If you are wearing flip-flops to a fancy restaurant, the waiter would ask you to leave. Same thing. I will also ask you to leave for being a dick. If being a dick is not funny. Making threats online to people you don't know isn't funny either. Saying stuff like, hey, well, actually, that's fine, actually. Saying things like, the only example I can think of in my current brain is the one that's in the resume, and it's I don't know what this is. That's really unprofessional lingo, for example, so don't do that.
Now reading documents, PDFs, terms of services, and contracts. If you're working in a professional area, which most of you hopefully are thriving to go to, chances are there will be legal documents. It's very important for you to read them. Don't break NDAs and make sure you know what you're signing up for. If you break an NDA, it shows the public and the company that you're working that you can't read and we can't trust you with NDAs. So you probably won't be getting work from that anymore. So please, I know it's really, it looks like it's very daunting, but reading through documents is very important because you don't want to sign your soul away to Disney. If they have like on the document in like tiny print, they're like, hey, if you work with us, you sell us all your work. That's Disney. You know, like if people who work with Disney say it too. They're like, when you work at Disney, when you sign a contract with Disney, you can only draw Disney IP stuff. You can only draw the things that you are told to. Anything else you draw during that time belongs to the company. You guys know this, right? Regardless, it's important to read these things so you can be like, hey, well, that's kind of, I don't think that's good. I don't think I want that, you know? It's really important. So make sure to read before you sign anything. This goes for everything, honestly. It's not just work. Be clear. People cannot know what you are thinking. Communicate clearly to avoid any type of miscommunication. If something doesn't work with you, aka reading the documents and being like, oh, I don't want to sell my soul, guys, what? It's important to let people know. You can never be too careful. Being a clear communicator makes working with you a lot easier as well. Companies and people tend to prefer people who are easy to work with than their skills. I will say, I am a very straightforward person, and people don't really like that. I don't soften the blow on whatever I say most of the time. People think that's a deficiency most of the time. But I am a very clear communicator, and me being clear on something that needs like reworkings is better than being like, oh, it's fine, I guess, and then not liking the work. I might not cushion my stuff, and I might not be cushioning my words, but I get my job right, and I finish my work, and I'm always on time. That's why people like working with me. I'm really fast when I do stuff. And yeah, it's just really important to let people, if I'm going to be late, I'll be like, hey, sorry, something came up. Or, you know, XYZ. I'll be very clear. It's better to be clear than to be unsure. Okay, let's see. I think this is the last highlight. The world does not revolve around you. Whether you are applying for an international job or applying with Google Drive without your preference set correctly, please always check. This also comes to the point where social media, where a lot of European American people expect the world to revolve around them, and they interact with others and expect everyone to understand what they're saying. I saw somebody post this shit on YouTube on my post, and I told them, maybe don't call my stuff shit, because what the fuck? That was not cool. And they're like, oh, this is like lingo. Well, no, you can't be expecting people to know what you're saying. There's a lot of Western people going to like Asian medias and Asian accounts and saying shit like, oh, this destroys me, this sucks, haha, oh, I'm so normal, or like, please don't go bald, and then getting surprised that people don't understand what they're talking about, or getting offended or blocking them, and then making a scene about it. The world really doesn't revolve around you. You have to know who you're talking to, or you have to be mindful that people don't understand what you're talking about. And this goes with work too. So if you're like applying for an international job, and then like you have like lingo or something that doesn't translate well, you might want to like double check. Messaging project heads or people you don't know asking for work. Also, especially when it's say to no DMs. It happens a lot with open calls, zines, and auditions all the fucking time. DMing isn't giving you a better look, especially if the project itself mentions no direct messaging. It just makes you look like you can't read. Yeah, it is. I was really upset about it. I was like, hey, don't fucking do that. And they're like, oh, this was just lingo. I'm like, I don't care. Stop. It's not funny. And I saw people who was like, oh, is this is this shitty for unironically? And I was like, I just blocked the guy. Yeah, I'll block people. I block people really easily. And I was like, people might do this thing, like, and you can't be surprised when you say shit like this and then people block you. I get a lot of messages whenever I do any auditions or casting calls or open calls when I have it bolded saying no DMs. Thanks. You don't know how to read. It's crazy how you don't know how to read. That's nuts. You can't read and you're on Discord? Crazy. It's just a bad look. And portfolio wise, it's that gets stressed out. I know. Yeah, I just block. Portfolio wise, it's no problem cold emailing others, but please make sure you do it in like a schedule. I know in college people are like, oh, you should maybe email like a couple of directors and stuff. Yeah, people have gotten too comfortable online, so I am here to beat you with a stick to remind you, hey, know your fucking place. I was interested in doing like a fandom one-on-one etiquette thing, but I'll see how the VOD goes, I guess, to be like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Yeah, I don't know. Portfolio-wise, yes. Please make sure to email within like a schedule. You can send people a new portfolio or PDF if they're okay with receiving it, by the way. Don't just do it unprompted. Some people mention like, okay, this is open for you to email. Like rosters, for example. With voice acting rosters, there are certain times people open their rosters. And then that's when you can email and show them your work. Similar to this kind of stuff, if people mention it's open, you can do that. If it's not, you might want to ask to not be rude. And if you do so, you can send people a new portfolio or PDF of your work around every 3 to 6 months. Please don't overdo it. It could lead to people blocking your email or thinking you are spam. Also, Google only has like 15 GB. It gets filled really easily. So it can be very easily seen as spam. Especially if you're like on a third-party site and you're just mass emailing, the chances of it going into spam or just being seen as spam and people blocking your email is very highly. If you're reaching out to people out of the blue for work as well, acting as if you want to be friends, or only getting close to someone for the sake of getting something back. For everything, don't fucking do this. You are not slick. And you should never base a relationship off of wanting to get something. That kind of relationship will not last. It's important as artists and as creatives in this climate and in this day and age to work together. But you should never like reach out to someone to be like, hey, I just want a job. You can do that on Tinder. I'm super down for people do that on Tinder. I think it's funny. I think it's great. But, like, you have people online who are like, oh, let's be friends. Oh, can you draw me this thing for free? Like, let's not do that. It's the same kind of vibe, on reaching out only for work. Be like, oh, hey, we're friends. Hey, I heard there's an open application. Are you going to give me the job? No, and we're not friends anymore. Bye. If you're applying for a certain position in your portfolio that you linked don't have that section, or you, like I said, not easy to find, please don't waste my time. If it's something that I can't immediately find in a button, I've seen a lot of portfolios lately where it's just their portfolio link, completely fine, but I can't find the direction to it. I can't find what I'm trying to look for. And thus I can't judge you based on what you're applying for. No scalping. I can't believe I have to fucking say this, but no scalping other people's work. We will always find out. We will blacklist you in this industry. Holy shit. AI. Don't give me AI slap. Either your piece or your audition or your writing. I will punch you. And you will be blacklisted for eternity. I won't be able to know this, but putting any work information, casting documentation, etc. into ChatGPT to summarize things for you. We can tell that you didn't actually read the application or research on the project. You cannot be that incompetent and expect anyone to want to work with you. Good gods. Do not put any pieces that are posted or used as examples into AI. That has happened to me. You are not a Reddit bro, and if you are, please get a job and get a life. Thank you. Enjoy this photo of Ham's cat. That's the whole... Let's see, so sorry. For how an artist display projects in their portfolio without being overwhelming. Depending on the portfolio, if it's possible to have like, well, here. I have sections. Just my example. I have sections on, like, this is my illustration page, but I have sections, you know, like you can scroll through where it's like 1 block, 2 block, 3 block. Like, these are different sections and different illustration things. This is for print. This is iconography. This is children's book. And then this is a different style, and then this is tarot. You know, I have blocks on my end, and this is like, see, like, and I mentioned here. Oh no, I'm so sorry you also go to Pratt, that sucks. Good. We do love Static Fish. I was part of Static Fish until I graduated, which is last year. I did the 40th anniversary cover. That was me. Here, if you enjoy me crashing out, you can find me and support my projects here. I hear a lot of people asking for portfolio reviews or roasting portfolios online. I am not comfortable in doing that. I'm comfortable in doing that privately, but unfortunately probably not for free. I think I've talked about this already, but do you have any more suggestions when it comes to knowing what pieces for work are most valuable for a portfolio? Yes, I do, but everyone has it differently. One note I would give you is, if you're still in college right now, ask questions. Schedule meetings with your professors, schedule meetings with the head of your department, and show them your portfolio and be like, hey, please give me some feedback. A big part of college, art college specifically, especially you, Pratt student, is asking questions. What is your major, Pratt student? If you are an illustration major, I am so sorry. You still have time to get out. Don't go to Pratt for illustration. It is a waste of money. I did that. It is my waste of money. 3D animation. Oh, I don't know enough about that, but once again, always talk to your professors and always ask them for help. Always reach out, ask as many questions as you can. I was thinking maybe like $25 for half an hour. Oh, always complain. Pratt student, always complain. Always complain. As students, by the way, always complain. If you guys haven't seen already, I am a generational hater. My whole thesis is about me hating and American racism and white people racism to me as a fellow Asian POC woman, a non-binary person. I am a very big hater. Always question people. Always question things that you don't know. Always ask questions. Oh, sorry, keep on peeking. Always complain about things in a reasonable manner. I complained so much during my freshman year, and I always go on my during my last semester, we changed our head of department, and I was a very frequent visitor, and I had a lot of lists on complaints, either on professor work ethics or on what I think could be bettered for my department, because my department is very not okay. Whether it is the classes, And I'm very happy to say that although I didn't get to see the change, the people after me was able to see the changes. They told me that we have new classes specifically for illustrations. We have professors who teach how to do, how to do classes and how to make money specifically for illustration students, because back when I was a student, I didn't get that. I had a shitty professor who only talked about graphic design, and he wasn't open on talking about like any illustration stuff because that wasn't his expertise, even though he was teaching illustration and graphic design students. That's not okay, but they can't fire him because he's been here for 20 years. So always complain. Always bring your problems to the head of department. Oh, it's like always go talk to Zoran Mondami. Always complain. It's okay to complain. And it's okay to ask questions. It's Please always use the resources that you have. If you are currently an art student, you are... Oh no, I'm sorry. Exactly. I'm sorry. It's very important to complain. Make sure you keep in contact with your professors. I still talk to Rudy. I still talk to Floyd. I called Floyd the other day and be like, hey, I guess who just paid off his student loans? I did. And he was really proud of me. But the point is, these professors and these people that you know are all industry professionals, whether they've been in the industry for a long time or not. Oh, hey, SCAD. Yes, I know a fellow SCAD. One of my teachers who helped me did my portfolio for college is SCAD, and it's definitely an experience. I want people to complain. Do you know, I've talked to the head of the department, and I had to remind a lot of these people that a lot of us are international kids. If you are taking international students, you have to also cater to them. You can't only reward kids who ask questions. You can't reward kids based on an American system only. International kids, Asian kids, we are taught to not speak up. I am a different breed. I talk a lot and I speak a lot because I want what's right for me, because I've been wronged. But a lot of kids aren't like me. They can't speak up and they don't know how to. And if a school only rewards you if you speak up and ask questions, what's the point? You can't be an international school and don't also cater to these students that you're taking money from. So I told them that it is important, to also be mindful of who they are teaching, because a lot of white professors only cater to white students. Pratt also has a racism problem, and it's in New York. It's every semester I have a racist professor, whether they do it intentionally or not. Probably not. They probably just don't know any better. But come on, it's 2026 and it's important enough, and we need to learn to be better. That's why I'm doing this. That's because I think it's important for us to learn and, be a community together. America specifically teaches you about individualism and preaches that. I don't think that's good. Any culture and any country outside of America talks about community. And it's very important to build a community to be able to learn. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to be like the best of you. Like you guys want to know what I do when I go to conventions? I barter and I trade. I love trading. I get to talk to so many new people. I get to meet a lot of new people, and I trade, and we have a good and fun experience. And sometimes we see each other again, and then I make a friend. Don't be shy, by the way. I was going to keep this to another class, but since I don't know if there's going to be another class, I will say it now. It is important to vouch for yourself. It is important to speak up. If no one's going to vouch for you, no, you're never, you are your own hype man. In Voice Acting 101, what they told me when people asked was, what happens if I'm shy? And they're like, oh, it's okay. People will find your talent. No, they won't. We're in New York City. Do you know how many people are shy and how many people are not? If you don't vouch for yourself, and if you're not your biggest hype man, no one will know you. No one will notice you. I like to go to a new space and do something that no one will forget. I barked in a recent audition for a class. They will never forget me. They call me Gen Z, I forgot the name, but like the character name, because I did an audition. They're like Gen Z reincarnation. I got hit by a truck and now I'm reincarnated as a Gen Z princess. That's what they called me. Good. They will never forget me. That's a great thing. Make sure you are memorable, because there's so many people in the world and there's so many artists that are better than you and doing more and more and working harder. But what's going to have you stand out? Something. It has to be something. You have to be memorable. If this thing doesn't stick, do more. Also, another point is to always do things you like. If you're still in art school and you are doing a project that you don't like and you feel like, oh, this isn't going to be my best work, talk to your professor. They're always really open. That's what art school is all about. Art school is not squares, it isn't math. It's supposed to be lenient and a circle and an ever-flowing stream. You're supposed to be able to take an idea and a homework and mold it to something you like. It is important to do the things that you like. It is important to have joy, because we as artists burn out so easily. And it is important to be able to find, mold these things into things that make you happy. Because you always make the best work when you're happy. I always get A's when I do something stupid and dumb. Because it's stupid and dumb and it's silly and I like it. And I always get A. I always get the best grades. Always do something you like. I want to see, whenever I work with people currently in my studio right now, not really studio, and I am not a witch, I tell people I can only pay you this much, but here's the things I need from you. And this is like a character, whatever, but or here's like a graphic design, but I want you to do the best work that you can for your portfolio. I want you to do something that is good enough for you to put in your portfolio, because that's the whole point. I want to be able to pay you guys as much as I can right now, even though it's really not a lot, but at least it's something that you can use to get more work or to get portfolio or to grow or to learn something, because that's what a community is all about. It's important to complain, it's important to connect with people, and it's important to stand up for yourself. I am not a witch is a whole trauma response. It's about me. And I used to be a god is a sequel of that too. And it is me complaining. Everything can art that's what's fun about art. You complain and you make a stance and you choose to be. That's why I said art is political. Everything we do is political. And that's okay. We just have to always be mindful about it. It's like when you go to art school, you learn about art history. That's why you can spit on Picasso, because he sucks. Because he touches little kids. He sucks. You can look at these things and you can know better, so we know what to do and we know what not to do. That's what going to school is all about, in my opinion. And complaining. Always complain. Be loud. Be very loud. What are they going to do? Kick you out? Fuck no. They need the money. Do you know how bad it is out there? There's no kids anymore. There's no people going to school because school is so fucking expensive. That's why this is free. Because everything is expensive. I want this to be free. Of course. Yeah, can you just DM me on Insta for now? Question before anyone leaves. Prophecy, by the way, these are my projects. Prophecy Untold is a tarot deck that I made. That took me 3 years. If some of you like TMNT, maybe you'll like it. I want to maybe do more of these in the future if anyone's interested. If you are, I was thinking of putting the slides on my Patreon. If that's possible, and for you guys to vote on what you want to see next. If that works, that works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'll put it on there, and I'll put a link down in the chat later on. But yeah, let me know. But yeah, that's
That's mainly it. Please, if you're looking for like a short portfolio review, feel free to DM me with your portfolio and I'll see if I'm able to take it. Thanks. Yeah, thank you guys for spending the time over. I appreciate you listening to me yap for a couple hours. I hope this has been helpful for all of you. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I hope you liked the Chikawa ramble as well. That was fun. Thank you for coming. And I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye bye. Of course. Go complain, Pratt student. Go always complain. Always complain, Pratt student. Always, always complain. Have a good day, guys. Go to bed. Bye bye. Bye.